Wherever there's an episodic series, you can bet two men will talk to you. AJ Talon and Owen Finch give their thoughts on Owen and AJ Talks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Owen and AJ Talks. I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here with...
Waiting for my Pizza Hut. I'm sure these YellowJackets are envious of me, AJ Talon. And yet, sure enough, we are not stranded out in the middle of the Canadian wilderness. We are in society. You're in your house, I'm in mine. And we are reviewing YellowJackets, which is about a couple fuckheads out in the woods. What are they doing in these woods? Well, they're eating each other and killing some scientists.
Yeah, they are. We took a break, and went on to watch a father and a son have some strange bonding time. So we're going to come back here. And, we got to see a man get frozen in the last thing we reviewed, too.
We did.
And we don't know if he's coming back. Well, you do. I don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, I've known since I was like 3. You do not.
But yeah, let's just start talking about YellowJackets. I'm getting pretty excited because unless something really drastic happens, we should finish this show in about 3 weeks. So, I'm really getting excited. I was kind of interested to see what they would do with this episode since this was the first episode post Ben's death. And let's just see what they did with, and they ended off a big cliffhanger with the researchers.
Yeah, I will say, thank God they pick up right where they left off. If we did a fucking cut, well, I mean, we didn't, you know what I mean. We'll get to it when we get to it, but I'm glad they didn't do a big time jump.
Yeah. But this episode is called Croak. And as we talk about the episode, when we find out what the researcher/scientist study, the title will be more fitting. And this was written by written or directed. Let me make sure. Yeah, well, no, it was directed by. This is why you always got to check. This was directed by Jennifer Morrison. Doesn't have a wiki, so we can't really look up what else she's done. But that's always fun when they don't have wikis. And it was written by Alicia Brophy and Amani Rosa. Probably butchered one of the names really badly, but they wrote the episode. They don't have wikis either. That's kind of sad, but whatever. So AJ, you get to guess when this episode aired, and unfortunately for you,
it's been a little bit since the last one, so I'm gonna have to try and math this out.
Can I give you a hint, or do we do no hints?
No hints. Okay. I can do this. First two were February 14th. The next one was 21st. The next one was not the 28th. It was like the 2nd, I think. 9th. 16th. I'm going to say like March 29th.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I thought you were going to get it. It's March 23rd, 2025.
Fuck, I was so close.
What did you think?
I went ahead 1 week is what I did.
Yeah, but we thought they just took like a week off, thinking everyone would need a week's break from Ben's death.
Yeah, I was thinking they took a week off for the mid-season.
Nope, they did not take a week off. They probably should have taken a week off. I think everyone would have needed a week off after Ben's death. So
I know. Everyone's heartbroken. It's like, fuck, the best character's gone.
I don't think I'm ever gonna get over it that Ben's death.
That was the moment they decided we're ending it next season. You can't.
I mean, we don't have the biggest logic. Character in the show is gone. It's just you can't keep it going. But yeah, you were so close. The hint I was going to give was that Ben died my birthday weekend. So hopefully you remember when my birthday was. You were going to use that information, but you wouldn't let me give you that hint. So,
no, because your birthday is in February. No, you're right. Because you're shortly after my sister, and I always mix up my sister and my mom because my mom is February and my sister is March, and I always mix them up.
I think it's the other way around. I think your sister's February, your mom's in March, because your sister's 2 weeks before me.
You're right. Fuck. No, I was right the first time. God damn it.
But, yeah, I was really interested to see what they would do with this. I was going to talk about this in the video, but I'll talk about it now. this was gonna be. We tried to see if we could map it out, but I'm pretty sure this would have been Ben's first episode. Without him in it. Or it's a Yellow Jackets first episode without Ben in it, because I think he's been in like every episode. But I'll just say this now. He makes the cut. Just barely makes the cut. His head's in this episode. That counts as him being in it.
Yeah, his head makes the cut. Yeah.
Oh no, that wasn't good either. But but yeah, we're gonna.
Well, like you said off camera, if we get a scene later of the Yellow Jackets like taking a shit, like that's technically also a cameo.
Because yeah, they ate him. So
Yeah.
hopefully they don't do a time jump then. Because if they do a time jump, then he won't make the cut then type of thing. So
You're right. You're right.
But yeah, we're gonna switch it around. I talked about the past last time. You're gonna talk about the past this time. So why don't we just get into it? We're probably gonna get cut off when you talk about the past, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Probably partly through, but we'll continue on. But yeah, I guess before we get into the meat of the episode, we'll discuss an ongoing plot thread. That was, of course, the cliffhanger for last season, and kind of an ongoing background thing for the half of this season is the cabin fire. So this whole thing. So that was the big cliffhanger at the end of last season was, oh my God, the cabin burned down. What are they going to do? And then we were pretty disappointed they did such a big time jump and cut over the immediate aftermath of the cabin burning down. And also, I was like almost 100% certain it was Ben because we got that scene of him outside the cabin. And then you actually told me, like, oh, yeah, actually, we're not sure if it was Ben. Like, it's not confirmed. I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was, like, confirmed it was Ben, but okay. And then, yeah, sure enough, as the episodes went on, it kind of became more and more clear that it's not Ben. Now, they did keep it ambiguous, kind of. Like, we never fully get an answer one way or the other. But considering how Ben was acting with Mari, and, he was, like, hesitant to, like, kill, and he seemed, like, genuinely, like, shocked the cabin burned down. And, considering his heartfelt confession at the trial. And again, when he was trying to get Natalie to kill him, and he was trying to make her angry by saying he burned the cabin down, really seemed like he was lying there. So it's all been kind of pointing towards Ben was not the one to burn the cabin down. So me and you were kind of hoping that we would get an answer to that. It's like, okay, well, Ben didn't do it. Who did? And they even kind of played with that a little bit during the trial, where Misty pointed out several people who could have done it, and talking about how, like, this is all circumstantial. Like, any one of us could have had a motive.
Mm-hmm.
So we were hoping that, like, okay, well, hopefully we get an answer to that.
I feel like, too, we spent like 2 seasons, like, in the cabin. That was, like, the main setting of the past for the most part. So it'd be kind of nice if we actually got an answer. And Yellow Jackets has been kind of, like, ambiguous on giving us answers to certain things, like the wilderness thing. And then, where does Harvey go? I guess that was more of an us thing, but, like...
Well, I mean, like, now we know he went to that cave, but he mentioned, like, she told me not to come back, and it's like, who the fuck is she?
Yeah,
we'll never know, because he fucking died.
Yeah, so we haven't... They've given us a lot of things where we never get the reveals of them, and I would have liked to have gotten a reveal about the cabin, because it seems like... Yellow Jackets likes to kind of like throw like a mystery kind of in there, and then sometimes they don't really like solve the mystery sometimes. And this is a mystery I think they clearly could have been solved. And again, I think just because too we spent a lot of time at the cabin, it would have been nice to kind of like find out like who did it type of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, nobody in the present has talked about it, so they could absolutely get away with that of, like, revealing who did it in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would go about that, but, like, I'm sure they could think of something. So yeah, I like you said, because it's been so ambiguous, and this has been such a big, thing. This took up half the season, and it was the main setting for the first 2 seasons. Yeah, you'd think we would get a definitive answer on it, but we didn't, unfortunately, which I think is a big shame. And the big reason we're talking about it now is because we've kind of moved on from that. Now the main plot of the season seems to going to be like about these researchers and finding rescue. So there's not really going to be an opportunity, it seems like, to even talk about the cabin burning down.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a shame. I feel like too, even if they blend it up, it'd be really weird because Ben, you know, I think Ben's gonna be long gone.
Yeah,
Like
that's
by
the
that
thing. Is
point.
like by the time they even if they do bring it back, it's gonna be probably a while later. And it's like that should have been like a pretty soon after Ben dies kind of thing, like kind of like an immediate aftermath of Ben.
And then they could like
Whereas yeah, now that the focus is going to be on these scientists and stuff, if they ever get around to it, it's like going to be so far removed from Ben, and it's like, well, I mean, it feels like it just doesn't matter as much anymore.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a shame too because like that would have like Ben's death episode still carries a lot of weight, and I don't think anything would change my mind on it unless like we found out he actually did burn the cabin down. That would really suck. But
Yeah, I don't know, because at first I was 100% on board with Ben deciding to burn them all down, but then we got such like a heartfelt confession from him at the trial and stuff. Where now I'm like, well, now that they did all that, like they would kind of ruin Ben's character for if you burn the cabin down. So it's kind of like a weird thing of like I was fine with him burning it down before, but now that they did all that other stuff, now it can't be him.
Yeah, but I'm hoping I would have liked it if we would have found out like the original culprit of who actually burnt the cabin down, right after Ben dies, because then the characters would we could get some of the characters' thoughts about like putting Ben through all that really for nothing and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now we really just aren't going to get anything on that, which is a shame. Again, we could be proven wrong, but the way it's going, it really seems like we're not going to get an answer. Or if we do, it's going to be, when the focus is on other stuff, and Ben isn't really the focus anymore, obviously, because he's gone.
Yeah, and I feel like if we get it next season, depending on if the next season comes out like 2027, I feel like all the fans they would have seemed like 2 years ago. It'd be kind of weird to put it up like in season 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's not gonna hit as hard as it did if it would have been like again. No, it doesn't have to be immediately after Ben's death, but like pretty shortly after. Like Ben's death maybe leads into it.
Yeah,
but yeah, the focus is gonna be on these scientists. It's kind of gonna be There's not really a point to it anymore.
Yeah, and since we're on the topic of Ben, I want to bring up, because obviously this episode put the focus on the scientist. I kind of hope we get like, another episode where like the characters at least talk about Ben just in the past, just because Ben's death and like the build up to it was really strong. It took up most of season 3. I kind of hope we have the characters' thoughts about like Ben, because he was a big character for the show the whole time up until this point. And I hope we get like Natalie or like Shauna talking about Ben's death, because I kind of hope that like now that these researchers show up, like Ben's presence isn't like removed from it type of thing. I want Ben to still get like talked about, because I thought that was what was going to happen when they originally showed up, but as you'll talk about, the focus kind of, I don't think it completely removes from Ben, and I guess I'm okay with that for this episode, since like shit goes wrong real quick, as you'll get to. But I kind of hope Ben isn't just forgotten about now that these researchers have shown up, because selfishly I like Ben as a character, and then we're not gonna forget about him. But I just think like his character like carried a lot of weight, and this death carried a lot of weight. It would be really weird if he's just forgotten about. Like I kind of hope we get a couple of scenes where some of the characters talk about him.
Oh my god!
I'm not pausing. Then this is like they can't be here. That can't be the food already.
Oh no! What the? Yeah. Okay, no. Oof. Okay, no, it's fine. Fucking holy shit! So a stray cat was on my porch, and it fucking looked a lot like Moo for a second. So oh my fuck! Did Moo get out?
Has he been getting out?
No, he hasn't gone out yet.
Okay.
That's why I was so worried, because I have a busy road like right out there.
Yeah.
So I didn't want getting fucking running off and getting hit by a car.
I'm keeping this. I'm gonna keep this in because that was pretty funny, actually.
That's fine. But I'm fucking out. Because I have my shades open, so a stray cat probably saw Moo and was like coming to investigate.
Yeah.
But for like a quick glance, I thought it was my cat outside. I was like, "What the fuck? How'd he get out?" That's Pizza Hut calling. Oh, that's good timing.
Okay. It's gonna be a weird video. I guess I'll keep. I'm gonna pause it here, I guess. All right, AJ. So, anything more you want to say about the comment I just made about Ben a second ago?
Possibly.
I guess I have to ask my question because I guess it's been a couple minutes, and there was a lot of commotion that happened, as you're gonna see in the video. But, like, do you hope he's brought up more? Like, he's not just forgotten about now that these researchers have shown up and everything like that.
Oh, yeah, no, I 100% hope he's brought up. Well, it's kind of a weird thing of, like, shit goes wrong so quickly, and I feel like, as we're going to get to it, that it should have been spread out a little bit more. Because of what Lottie does, like, shit goes wrong instantly. I feel like it should have been, like, the researchers freak out because of seeing Ben, and then we kind of focus on that for a little bit, and then we can have Lottie do what she does.
Yeah, but yeah. Now that we've kind of did like a little bit of a commentary there, let's actually get to the episode now. Kind of happened at a good time. You got interrupted because you would have gone right into it, and then
yeah. I got interrupted like twice in a row.
I
so
know.
like at least it was all like together.
This might be like the weirdest intro, like before we like even talked about the episode that we've ever had, like on a show type of thing. So.
Yeah. But yeah, funny enough, we actually turned back the clock a little bit. I think it's pretty obvious to tell that this is like before the end of last episode because these are the same people that we see at the end of last episode.
Yeah, I mean it says it too.
Yeah, sure enough,
It says like 3 days before and all that type of stuff too. So
does it actually say 3 days before? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so that's when you said pretty obvious. I thought that's what you were gonna say, and then you mentioned it's like it's pretty.
I didn't catch it. I didn't catch that. So I must have looked away from the screen at that point. But yeah, we see a woman, fairly young, seems to be like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Another man, a man who's probably a little bit older than her, probably like late 30s. It seems like kind of nerdy guy, glasses, and then another gentleman who's much more rugged. Got the beard, dressing more survivalist. And yeah, the woman and the nerdy guy are in a relationship. They are scientists studying frogs out in these woods, and presumably, and they mentioned that like nobody's ever like observed these frogs during like their like mating season or something, and that they're going to try and be the first ones to kind of like capture it.
Yeah. So I do have to ask, what does that mean? Because this kind of confirms, because the first few episodes of the season, we've been hearing like screams, and then I think this episode revealed it was the frogs. I guess decent reveal. I don't know how much of that adds up, because I remember at one point like Ben hears it, but like Molly acted like she didn't hear it, so I don't know if Ben has just been I don't know if Ben's just been hearing this noise so much that like it made him go crazy.
Well, it's also weird because we've done time jumps. Like the beginning of the season was like months ago. Because remember, it was like the first day of summer. At episode 1, and now it's like approaching wintertime.
Yeah, but I guess this confirms that the frogs has just been what they've been hearing. But I don't know how much of that adds up, because again, like I said, Ben's heard it at one point, and like Molly acted like she didn't hear it. So,
yeah. So this woman is named Hannah, and the guy is Dead Meat. That's his name.
Sure. I actually was gonna say his real name, but that's fine.
Yeah, his first name is Dead, last name Meat. And then we got Cody. Cody is he's not a scientist. He's their tour guide. He's kind of like a survival guy. He's been hired to kind of take them out into the woods safely and like so they don't get lost. Which makes sense because, as we know, these are very dense woods, like miles and miles of woods. Pretty easy to get lost into it, so it makes sense that these kind of like nerdy scientist guys would hire this guy to like help him out.
Yeah, I think that made a lot of sense.
Although I will say, so like, I don't know if this guy does these woods specifically, or if he kind of bounces around. But I will say, if like the YellowJackets have been out here for like a year and a half, if he's been like hiking out in these woods for quite a while, a little strange that he never noticed. I mean, I know these woods are kind of thick, but like, I don't know. I feel like he would have noticed something was off.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is these woods are also pretty thick and like really deep woods. It's kind of weird that that these two like groups would like interact with each other.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. It's a weird mix of like, okay, with how thick these woods are, it's kind of like, what are the odds that they happen to bump into each other? But if this is kind of like, like, yeah, he knows where he's going. He's been through this part of the woods like plenty of times. Well, in that case, how has he not bumped into the YellowJackets before this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird thing of like, it's either one extreme or the other. Of like, what are the odds he's bumped into him now, and what are the odds he hasn't bumped into them before?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the first take, at least with 3 seasons in and it's happened, it'd be like one thing if it was like episode 5, season 1, as an example, you just bumped into him type of thing. But but yeah, if it is a little weird that it's kind of weird how that we couldn't find a middle ground there type of thing. And it's weird and I guess it's weird the moment they bump into him. It's like right after they eat Ben and all that type of stuff. So
yeah. Now to be fair, they actually they only found them because of all the noise they were making while they were eating Ben.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure they've been making noise at plenty of points. So like yeah, it's like what are the odds they do it when they're doing all that stuff with Ben and not like I don't know when they were playing fucking tag like at the beginning of the season.
I guess, yeah. I to be fair too, they only found because they were making this, as you're going to talk about, they were making the same noise that the frogs make, so they were probably thinking it was related to the frogs, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, we spent a good 15 minutes with these guys before the intro plays. So I do like that, kind of just seeing what they were doing before bumping into the YellowJackets, get a feel for who they are before everything goes to shit. Because they're trying to like talk to Cody and like get a feel for who he is because Dead Meat like doesn't trust him. He thinks he's suspicious because he's like not talking about his past, and they're kind of thinking like, because I guess like they work for a university and they're doing the research for that, so they're like, oh, the university hired this guy, but little stuff like his like sleeping bag is like doesn't say Cody on it. And again, he's not like he seems kind of suspicious, so they're like wondering if he's like a fake tour guide, and he's like kind of not leading them to the spot they need to go.
Right.
So basically, they think this guy is like a scam guy, and he's gonna like rob all their shit and like leave them out in the woods.
Yeah. And it has to take place to take it. To have one of the guys like be kind of like strange and everything like that.
I mean, I don't think he's that strange because they're also playing into the idea. So, like, the nerdy guy who's dating Hannah is like, a nerdy guy. And he's like kind of complaining a lot. And he's like, constantly being like, like we're getting lost. Like, we're not, this isn't the way we're supposed to be going. Like he's kind of just bitching a lot. And then Cody's a very, manly man. Like he has a crossbow and I think he like shoots an animal at one point. And Hannah very clearly like has a crush on him.
Yeah. So,
and Meat is like, noticing and he's like, oh, you like him, don't you? And she doesn't even like deny it. So like then Meat's kind of just bringing all this up that Cody's suspicious, and mainly because I think he's jealous of the guy.
Yeah, but I like the time we spend with these people. We get to
I like that we get personality for them.
Yeah, kind of gives us a chance to get to know these people. Knowing that shit was going to go on, it makes you feel like bad for them. I've kind of noticed this with the past this season of YellowJackets. It seems like it's only told through like it's not told through like the main cast perspective. Like it seemed, I would say up until Ben's death, like season 3 is like told through like mostly his perspective, which is kind of interesting. And then this episode was kind of told through like the scientist's perspective type of thing, which I think is an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah, at one point it's getting laid out. They Cody's smoking some weed, and then the scientists kind of join in, and they're kind of loosening up around him, having some fun. But they kind of start roughhousing a little bit, and they end up breaking their like only like phone.
Yeah,
and like they're gonna like make some like prank calls or something. But the nerdy guy, Dead Meat, is kind of just like, guys, like it costs us a shit ton of money to make even like a single phone call, like out in these woods because there's like no reception.
Yep.
And also, this is like the '90s, where like obviously cell phones weren't like super common.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had them, but not like no one.
Well, that's what I was saying. They have them, but like they're not like it's not one of those things where like everybody just like has it in their pocket like now.
Yeah. So.
And well, again, like it's very like it's like in a fucking suitcase, and they got like the cord that you got to stick out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I remember when I was like 8, my first phone was like a fucking flip, like the keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like like when I was a kid, touch phones were only like just becoming a thing.
Yeah, I had the flip phone at one point.
This is like a couple years before I was born. So
yeah, so
in the notes we always put 1996, but like it actually be 1997 at this point because this is like after winter into the next year.
Well, as you can tell, I don't edit the notes like.
I know, but I'm just saying we always put that this is 1996. That's actually 1997 at this point.
Yeah, I'll probably fix that later. You know what? Actually.
Oh, and you've already kept it going for 2.5 seasons. Might as well just stick with it.
Oh, it's already over. I'm not sick. I already fixed it.
All right. Cool. It doesn't matter to anyone besides us because nobody else sees it.
I'm gonna share it with everyone now. Just share the link in the video, and everyone can just edit our notes.
Brand everything. Even MySpace. But the scientists are so their phone's broken. But Cody's like, hey, I'm a tour guide. I know how to get out of here. I know how to get to like the rendezvous point and whatever. So like we're fine.
Why don't we just said that after what we just reviewed?
Huh?
Rendezvous after what we just reviewed.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, Jesus, where nobody fucking made it to that point until like the end of the movie.
I will say, what a coincidence! The phone just happened to like break like the day before.
Yeah, that was kind of like okay. Well, all this shit would have gotten resolved pretty much instantly if the phone didn't break.
Yeah, so
that was kind of like because everything else, I'm like, okay, again, all right, sure, it's a little weird. The scientists like ran into him at this point, but like, okay, sure, they were making a lot of noise. Like, okay, fine. But like the odds that their phone broke like fucking like that night, it's like okay.
Yeah. Or like that, or like the day before, or whatever. Like that was.
Yeah, the day before. You know what I mean. But yeah, they hear noise in the background, and Dead Meat wants to go investigate it because he's the first to die in a horror movie.
Yeah.
And Cody is like, that's like actually fucking stupid. We should not do that. But Dead Meat's like, nah, man, I'm fucking, I'm gonna be a main character on this show. I'm gonna be around for the next 5 seasons. Little did he know he's going to be around for the next 5 seconds.
Little did nobody know that there was only going to be one more season left. So
yeah, exactly. He thought he was going to be
he's going to
a fan character.
Well, he's going to get his own spin-off or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking Dead Meat Chronicles. Yeah,
yeah, I love it.
The fucking Frog Variety Hour.
It's all just him like listening to frogs or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But they go to investigate and they see the YellowJackets, and I do like this where Hannah clicks like record on her tape recorder because we heard the very beginning of the tape last episode when Van, Taisa, and Shauna were listening to it.
Yeah,
I will say that kind of doesn't match up super well because we hear the very beginning of the tape last episode, then we cut away, and then we cut back to them listening to the tape, and like Hannah's like screaming, "Oh God, no!" And as we gotta find out, like the beginning of the tape and like her screaming, "Oh God, no!" is only like 2 minutes apart.
Yeah, it was really strange.
So like the way it's shown last episode, it sounds like that's like the end of the tape.
Yeah,
but this episode, it's obviously not. So it is kind of like, why'd they stop listening to it last episode? Like, and it cut away, and then they apparently only cut away for like 30 seconds.
I guess so. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So kind of weird. But yeah, the scientists show up, and the YellowJackets are of course dancing, and they all are like dead in their tracks once Lottie notices them and screams no. And Dead Meat is like, "Oh my god, it's okay!" And then he turns his head and sees Ben, decapitated head. Again, I hope he got paid for this episode. He probably just got a pay cut, if you know what I mean. But yeah, he's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And Misty, with the clutch, is immediately trying to save it, being like, "Oh my god, no, he died of natural causes." Which, I mean, nobody's probably going to buy that, but, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, good effort. Van has a funny line where she says, "I guess we're going home, guys." So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I didn't think that was funny. I thought that was actually, like, pretty, like, I felt bad for her there, where she's like, oh, because obviously we know that these scientists, this whole thing with the scientists is not going to go well.
Yeah.
So I felt bad for Van, where she's like, she sounded genuinely, like, so happy that they were going to go home.
Yeah, I did like the way they were acting, too, because this is, like, the first normal human...
Like, since, like, Laura Lee flew off on that plane.
Yeah, and, like, the first normal contact that they've had with anybody that, like, hasn't been out in the wilderness all this time and stuff.
Yeah.
Not counting Ben, because he was fucking normal. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like this. It was interesting. It was kind of cool to see, like, what these characters, the researchers were like, before we met the YellowJackets, and obviously knowing with this hindsight, it kind of made us feel bad for them when we find out what their fates were going to be, like later on and all that type of stuff. So it kind of makes you root for these guys and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. I appreciate getting their POV for a little bit,
and it kind of shows how messed up like the YellowJackets cast like got being out there.
Yeah, I like that. Like in this next scene, it's like the YellowJackets come off like horror villains.
Yeah,
because that was something because the first episode when we got Pit Girl, like, and how like cult like they became, I was really expecting we would get that sooner.
Right.
Because, like, like last season when they were hunting Natalie and they ended up killing Javi, I felt that was kind of quick.
Very quick.
Like, I get they were starving, but, like, they jumped to that, like, pretty quickly.
Yep.
And then they haven't been like that since. So, I do kind of like that idea of that, like, these guys come off as, like, so animalistic to, like, people who've been in society, like, normally.
Yeah, me too.
Again, it's just kind of the issue of, like, last episode when everyone's sort of just, like, fucking dancing when Lottie started, like, doing all of her weird shit. I was like, that feels kind of out of nowhere because they've been, like, normal, like, 95% of the time.
Yeah, that was weird.
Again, it's kind of that thing of, like, I'm down for these guys being all, like, animalistic and stuff. But it's weird because they're, like, normal 95% of the time. And then just occasionally they act all fucking weird.
Yeah. It is weird how they do that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, at least with Lottie, it makes sense. Speaking of Lottie, Dead Meat realizes, like, oh my god, you guys are, like, he seems like he pieced together that these are the YellowJackets that went missing.
Yep.
But then, before he can even finish the sentence, Lottie came up behind him. I guess his girlfriend and Cody didn't feel the need to mention that Lottie snuck up behind him with an axe.
I guess not, yeah.
Because, it was like this guy, and then they were standing right behind him. Again, they just didn't feel the need to mention that, like, this girl was fucking coming up behind him with an axe.
Yeah, it's one of those horror movie tropes. You just have to look over, I guess.
Yeah. But, Lottie fucking axed this guy in the head. And he's, like, like, dying, and Lottie just, like, ripped it out of him, and he fucking collapsed on the ground dead. And I do like this where, like, Natalie's like, oh my god, Lottie, what did you do?
I liked that, yeah.
And then Shauna's fucking freak ass is smiling.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
I'm like, Shauna, like, I get you're, like, evil now, but, like, do you not want to go home?
I mean, I guess not. So yeah, this was I was kind of thinking, we would get, like, in this episode, they would see this, they would be, like, freaked out, maybe run off, and then, like, because they're acting so animalistic, they would chase after them, and then, like, and wanted to find them, but, yeah, this goes south real quick. I didn't expect it would go south this quick, with, Lottie just killing this guy, randomly out of nowhere. I was at this.
Yeah, well, it's also a thing of like, okay, so I'm trying to make sense of this with the present. So everyone being kind of just cool with Shauna when she's been acting so fucking like evil lately is like, okay, I mean, like, sure, it's been a long time. She hasn't, it's like, okay, I'm like, maybe they can kind of get over it. Lottie just ruined their fucking, as far as I know, their only chance of getting home.
Yeah.
So the fact that they do not immediately fucking kill Lottie is insane to me. Again, because I try to put it like, okay, what if I were in their shoes? My ass would be 100% tackling her to the ground and giving her that Shauna 2.0 treatment from last season.
Absolutely, yeah. This was a little bit strange because I know Lottie's cut off from everyone in the present before we like see you in the cult and everything like that, but everyone kind of like worships Lottie once we get to that point like a god. They don't like, and they never like call her out for being crazy. Like Natalie in the present doesn't like Lottie, but then eventually buys into a bullshit. Then you have a scene like this where you're wondering like why was this never brought up in the present or anything like that? And it could have just been a throwaway line like we got with Natalie in season 1 where Thaisa and Shauna mentioned like she's the reason that she's the one that like helped us stay alive and all that type of stuff. That was vague enough where you can kind of get what they were talking about, but not completely. Here, this was really weird that like Lottie ruined the one chance to go home, but it seemed like they were, for the most part, kind of
again, we only really get like one comment on it this episode. Now, to be fair, the episode ends when they come back to camp, but like, I'll talk about when we get to it. But yeah, no, it kind of bugged me that like I get they had other stuff going on. But, like, I'm really hoping next episode they fucking rip into Lottie. Yeah. And, like, we get a good reason why they don't fucking murder her. I don't buy that, like, present day any of them would be in the same room as her for pulling that shit.
I absolutely wouldn't be. I just didn't expect...
It's like, okay, Owen, yeah, you know what Naruto is. Anyone, if you're watching this, you know what Naruto is. There's a scene where Obito is fucking beating this guy to death. And then it cuts after he's like beating him for like minutes, and then his fist was fucking stuck in his face, and he had to like pull it out. That would be me to Lottie. I would have to fucking pull my fist out of her fucking brains. I would have fucking absolutely annihilated this girl.
Yeah, me too.
Travis, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you lost your dad and your brother out here, and he's just mad chilling. He's cool. Well, I mean, to be fair,
it's Travis.
He's trying to get the fuck out of here. He goes after Cody. He's like, listen, man, take me the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But yeah, like nobody else really. Like we don't get Thaisa's thoughts. We don't get Van's. We get kind of Van's thoughts, and then we get like Shauna's happy about it. Apparently,
Thaisa a little bit. Thaisa and Natalie kind of give Shauna some shit of like, you're gonna go rogue. After what happened, like with Natalie, when she killed Ben without telling everybody. And I'm like, okay, the fact that you guys are saying this to Shauna right now after what Lottie just did is crazy.
Yeah. So, this is weird. I just didn't expect that all of this was just going to go to shit like immediately too. I kind of would have liked to have seen them like interact maybe a little bit with the scientists before like it really went to shit. Like it was kind of like it went to the intro. We got some stuff. Actually, we didn't even get anything in the present, and then the intro's over, and then like Lottie just kills this guy like really randomly out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, because last episode she like screamed no, and then a little bit later she mentions that like they were gonna ruin everything, and like the wilderness doesn't want them here. Okay.
They've been here for 3 days. I mean, I know we didn't see it, but they obviously had to. They've been there. From where they are, they had to have been there for like a while. Like, why would the wilderness camp where they are?
I don't understand Lottie's love. I get Lottie's crazy, but like I don't. That's something I don't like is that like she kind of just does whatever the fuck, And I'm just like, okay, a little consistency.
Hey, we asked in the Star Wars video though if who's going to the Giga Chad table. It was at this moment here. Dead Meat and Lottie got kicked off the Giga Chad. I mean, Lottie probably got kicked off
table.
Huh?
They're serving dead meat at the table.
Yeah. I mean, Lottie probably got kicked off the Giga Chad table a while ago, but, like, this, like, confirmed, like, this was, like, the confirmation Lottie's not going to the Giga Chad table now.
But, yeah, I think Lottie's kind of inconsistent, but like this isn't necessarily out of character for her. It's just I'm disappointed we didn't get more. Again, like he sees Ben's decapitated head, and then immediately like we kind of move on from that, because Lottie obviously kills this guy.
Yeah.
So Ben's death didn't really matter because Lottie probably just would have done that anyway.
Yeah, I would have preferred they just see Ben's head and then they put two and two together and they just fuck off, like run off and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then like we get some more time with the scientists and the YellowJackets. Like maybe the YellowJackets have to like be like, okay, we want you to take us out of here, but we got to like make sure you're not going to tell anybody what you saw. And then at that point, maybe Lottie's like, goes fucking crazy. But yeah, I wish shit didn't go this south this quickly. Again, I wish we got, like you said, they see Ben's head, they run off. The YellowJackets are kind of like chasing them and whatever.
Yeah.
And then Lottie can do her thing, like maybe next episode or the episode after.
Something tells me because of this, we're not going to get a lot of time with the researchers because Lottie did this too. Like, I feel like this.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, like Dead Meat seemed like an interesting character. It kind of just sucks. He's just like dead immediately.
Yeah. So, it's weird because he was like he was like the main guy they focused on like the last episode. Yeah. So,
but that's not unheard of like starting with like a character that you think is going to be like a main character and then like killing him off to introduce like the actual main characters. Because like we get like it's mainly the POV of like Dead Meat, and then we kind of mainly get Hannah's for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
So, that's not like bad, of like we think this guy is going to be our POV and then he dies and then it ends up being Hannah. That's not like unheard of in stories. But, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the execution here.
No, me either.
But yeah, they run off, understandably. The YellowJackets start chasing after them. And then Cody turns back with his crossbow and he ends up shooting Melissa in the shoulder. So a couple of the YellowJackets hang back to, take care of Melissa. And Mari, actually, I like this, where Mari goes up to Dead Meat to make sure he's not dead meat. And then, like, Shauna, like, screams at her, like, he's already dead. Take care of Melissa. If she dies, you die.
Yeah, I like that. And, I kind of... Because it kind of shows how crazy Shauna is and wants Melissa to stay around. And, it shows how fearful that everybody is of Shauna, which is good.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the first time we've really seen that, like, Shauna has any care for Melissa. Now, to be fair, not that much care, because Melissa was, like, screaming for Shauna, like, Shauna, don't leave me. And then Shauna just kind of was, like, holy... She didn't even, like, answer Melissa. She just called Damari, like, hey, take care of her.
Yeah, so it was weird.
Now, to be fair, again, they were all chasing the scientists. I get Shauna, like, kind of focusing on that. But, considering Melissa's, like, her girlfriend, yeah, probably should have been a little more concerned about her.
You could say, but that ties into Shauna present day, because there's times we say that about her and Jeff.
Well, again, we've already established that, like, Shauna's, like, pretty abusive / toxic. Like, she's not an ideal girlfriend, so.
Yeah.
Like, it makes, it kind of, again, ties into that. Which actually, this episode does that with Jeff as well. Kind of, again, hammering in that Shauna is, like, a really bad romantic partner.
Very much so.
Yeah. And then this was also fucking a thing, because we didn't, like, get a good close-up of it until later. But when Mari was checking on Dead Meat, Lottie was already just, like, fucking dipping her face into his, like, brains.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, she's not eating him, but she's just, like, rubbing his blood all over her face.
Yeah. That was.
And I will say, again, another thing with Lottie being inconsistent is she murders this guy, thinking like, oh, they don't belong here. We have to get rid of them. But then when the other two fuck off, she doesn't go chasing after them either. She just kind of stays and just like starts jerking off with the blood.
I guess so.
And I'm just like, Lottie, you literally just killed this guy, and you're like, okay, everybody else could get the other two.
Maybe she's like
you think Lottie would be the one leading the charge against finding the other two.
I guess they just didn't have time to talk about that. I would have thought, yeah, Lottie would have been leading the charge dead set against getting the other two, but no.
I'm really not liking what they're doing with Lottie this season, in case you couldn't tell.
Which Lottie? Because there's two Lotties.
Yes.
Okay, it answers the question.
So yeah, they're chasing after them. Cody says like to Hannah, like, "Hey, listen, stay with me, or like I'm leaving your ass behind." Which, fair enough. Again, as we already established, he's only met these guys like a couple days ago, and he's kind of just like he's not being a dick about it. Like he's not leaving her behind, but he's just like, "Look, I'm looking out for number one. Like I'll get you out of here as well, but like don't slow me down."
Yeah, because she like meant to.
I like that. They're not making him like evil. Like he's not like pushing her down. Like fucking sucks for you. But he's being realistic about the situation.
I like that, like because he even mentioned like you don't have a lot of survival instincts type of thing.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why they separate and all that type of stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, again, they kind of get separated by accident. Like he doesn't like leave her behind on purpose. He's just kind of focusing on getting away himself.
Yeah. So, I really like this though. The little dynamic. The fact that they got into this. Well, maybe not the situation specifically, but
yeah,
I like how they acted
pretty
in
much
the situation.
Most of the YellowJackets, besides Maury, Jen, and somebody else, I guess.
Lottie, the biggest one, Lottie.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying, but like those, like two girls and the other one are like looking after Melissa.
Yeah, I don't know what Lottie.
And again, Lottie doesn't give a shit. She's all about those brains.
She's just staring off into space into those brains.
Okay, so. It's like dead night right now, and then like when the sun's out, Lottie kind of comes over to Melissa and she's like, "Hey, do you guys need help?" It's like you probably should have offered that a couple hours ago, Lottie.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Lottie was doing. She was just staring off into space. So
yeah.
They have to get. I was about to say they have to get checked, but she actually has mental issues, so maybe that wasn't the best term.
Yeah. But yeah, at this point, it's kind of just like we get like everybody split off and doing their own thing. So I guess I'll just talk about it one at a time. Start off with the shortest, Travis and Recast Girl going after Cody. They're chasing after him, and they're trying to tell him like, "Hey, stop!" Like they're trying to talk to him and be, like, "Hey, listen, like we want to get the hell out of here. Take us with you." And he ends up going towards the poop cliff. Where he's trying to be a Crystal 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis tries to warn him, like, "Oh my god, don't go that way." He ends up going over the cliff, but he's like hanging on. And then Travis ends up like grabbing the gun and like pointing it at him. He's like, "Oh fuck!" But then he's like, "Just grab onto it, like we'll pull you up and like get us out of here."
Yeah.
And also, like, Misty was with them for a little bit. She fell and, like, broke her glasses, and she was kind of, like, by herself for a while.
Yeah, kind of interesting they had her here, because, like I said before, the actress in real life was pregnant, I think, pretty...
Yeah, again, that's why I was just, like, it's kind of just, like, they don't really do anything with it. So that's why I just, like, mentioned, like, "Oh, yeah, Mallory Misty was here. She broke her glasses."
And a water broke.
Oh,
no, it did.
Yeah.
It didn't. I was just talking about that, but that would have been funny.
I figured you were joking, but I'm like, that'd be kind of funny if that was actually the reason.
Oh, like because she almost gets shot with a crossbow at one point. It would have been funny if it was like a real crossbow, and like Misty was like, "Whoa, that I'm pregnant. That shit's weird. I could have gone real bad."
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because it was Travis, Recast Girl, and Misty going after Cody, and then obviously Misty like fell down, couldn't see, so she got separated, and now it's presumably going to be Travis and Recast Girl with Cody. And at the end of the episode, they bring Hannah back to camp, but we don't get any word on Cody and them. So I'm guessing that like Travis and Cody are like fucking off from everybody else.
That'd be interesting.
I'm guessing. Just because like they show Hannah getting captured after Cody. So presumably, like, they found Cody first, so it wouldn't make sense for Hannah to get back to camp before Cody.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Travis took off Cody, but like, I could be guessing. If he does, well, it's like, I get it, because like everybody's like fucking crazy and Travis isn't really close with anybody. But he would be leaving Natalie behind. And I'm like, I don't think Travis would leave Natalie. Like, that seems kind of out of character.
Yeah, especially the relationship that they've like built in the past and the present type of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that next episode. Because again, it just kind of ends with him pulling Cody up on the cliff. And I do like that because Cody saw dead meat become dead meat, so he fired his crossbow and booked it. So this is kind of him saying like, okay, maybe you guys aren't like super crazy.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with what comes of this.
Yeah.
There was a little conversation that Recast Girl at number 1 and Travis had where like they were wondering like what was going through Lottie's mind when they did that, and they kind of like they had kind of a difference of opinion because Recast Girl number 1 was questioning like did Lottie have a good reason for that, and Travis kind of didn't really seem like he agreed with it.
Understandable.
Really weird. Actually, Travis actually gave his thoughts on something, and it was thoughts we agreed with.
I know. It's a whole day in hell when Travis decides to actually speak his mind. But, here we are.
And you know what's funny? Half of season 2 wasn't that way, and it was fucking cold that season.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, hey, as Tyson said, it's getting colder out, so winter is coming.
So Travis gotta say we need to get Travis thought. Maybe the second winter hits, like his mind freezes, so he doesn't understand how to express himself.
Well, yeah, I like the idea of like he doesn't give thoughts on anything, but what Lottie did is such bullshit. Even Travis has to speak his mind on it. Like the fact that Recast Girl was like, "Do you think Lottie had good reason?" I'd be like, "No, shut the fuck up."
I like that. That's gonna be like, that's gonna be like the main story, like the rest of the season. Like,
listen, if Lottie thought killing dead meat would cure cancer, I would still not think that's a good enough reason.
Especially if I could go home.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you've been out in the woods for over a year, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck if what she did and created world peace and ended all diseases. I don't want to go fuck at home and shit in an actual toilet and eat fucking Pizza Hut. All right, fuck you.
Yeah. And you know what? The fucking sucks. We're never gonna hear present day Lottie talk about this because they killed her off.
Yeah. Again, I just like it's such a crazy decision, Like again, we know they get rescued not too far from now, but as far as they know, this was their like one and only shot of getting rescued.
Yeah. So.
I would actually be losing my fucking mind.
Nobody is. Well, I guess Fan kind of does.
Well, everybody is, but like in the wrong way.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope Lottie gets caught up for this next episode.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's kind of it for Cody's plot.
I liked Cody.
Oh.
I liked this plot. I liked Cody as a character. He was pretty decent.
Yeah, I like him. He's probably my favorite out of the 3. I like that again. He's kind of like the outsider of the other 2. He's got like good survival skills. Kind of takes charge. I'm
kind of
interested. I like it again. Curious past. I wonder if that's gonna like tie in later.
I'm wondering if they'll keep him around like longer than Hannah because he's got such good with survival skills. He can help them like navigate the woods.
Yeah, they mentioned that Hannah's dead present day, but they don't really get any word on Cody. So I'm kind of presumably Cody's dead, but like I mean, they don't really get a word on it. So it'd be interesting if he is still around.
He just stays in the woods,
or maybe not around, but he like outlives Hannah or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like
I don't know how long Hannah's gonna be around for. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I liked Cody. I thought he was. I was kind of like questioning, like, ooh, is it? I kind of wanted them all to be normal, but Cody seems like he's the less normal out of the 2. But he's like, YellowJackets are probably like a 5,000 on a scale from 1 to 10 of normalcy right now, and Lottie brings it up to that 5,000. So, and then like Cody's.
But he was the most interesting out of the 3, and again, I like that he kind of just like took charge and.
Yeah,
I like that he's not like he's kind of morally gray. Again, he's not like evil. He was like, "Fuck you, Hannah. I'm ditching you," but he was like not fully good, and that like he was mainly focusing on himself, and he wasn't really prioritizing Hannah.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see. I think keeping Cody and Hannah around was good because like they didn't really know each other well, so it'll be interesting to see what like they think once they get back to camp.
Yeah. And again, they set up that Hannah had a crush on the guy. Now that her boyfriend's fucking dead, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll kind of do something with that. So yeah. Next we get Van and Taissa because they're always together. Last episode literally acknowledged that.
Yeah.
We always knew it was true, but the show is now calling it out. But yeah, they end up finding their camp, which I mean, that makes sense. Like they're, their camp wasn't too far off from the YellowJackets are. If they're like separating to like kind of cover more ground, yeah, I could buy that they found their camp.
Me too.
They go to that tent that they were in, and they see the phone. And I do love this again. Like Van, I felt so bad for her when she was like, "Oh my God, we're going home." I heard like immediate reaction is like dialing it, and Tyson's like, "Who are you calling?" And she's like, "My mom."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Again, I felt so bad for her, especially because again, we know they're not going to get. They're not too far off from getting rescued, but like it's still a good amount away.
Yeah.
And we also know that like the phone's already broken, so we know it's not going to work.
Yeah, but I thought Van's reaction was really good here, and the actors did a good job.
Also, kind of a minor thing, but I do like it. So the frog, the scientist had in a jar. They were studying it. They find it, and then they open it up and let it go. I like that. A little symbolism, like the frog was able to go back home and like escape its like cage, but the YellowJackets can't. Like they're not free of the woods yet.
Thanks to Lottie.
Yeah.
So
again, just a minor thing, but I thought it was nice symbolism.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, that's kind of it for them. Again, their main thing was just finding the phone. They end up joining up with Natalie and Shauna soon, but yeah, they kind of went off to do their own thing for a bit.
Yeah, I like this for the most part. I liked how upset Van was that she wasn't able to go back home, and Thaisa was like mentioned, like we can use all the supplies for camp, and like Van's just like I think in a hopeless state at this point, where she's like, yeah, but we don't need any of it. We just need to go home. Like I would like that type of thing. Like Thaisa.
Yeah, I have Van in the scene.
Yeah,
thanks for bringing all this up because I get it. It's like 4 subplots all in the past, not even including the present. So like they're all kind of short, because they're all, and then I guess the last subplot of like them chasing after the scientists is Hannah gets separated from Cody, and she kind of realizes she can't outrun them, so she like finds a log and kind of just like lays on the ground and is like closing her eyes, praying they don't find her.
I do get asked, by the way, like I know the whole point is supposed to be like really animalistic and really criminal. Why do you keep like making animal noises when you're chasing down these people? That's not helping your case like at all.
I know, that's another thing. It's like, okay, so like Shauna is like evil and like wants to murder her. Like everybody else is like, okay, cool, let's find these guys so we can like bring them back and like hope they can rescue us. But yeah, no, but you're all making fucking really shitty decisions.
Yeah.
Like I just want Hannah to be like, so like, were the animal noises really necessary?
Right.
I think I shit my pants here, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens when you kill Ben. He's not around to like.
To call out all your dumbass decisions. Yeah.
Ben, I think Ben probably would have like been able to find these people just fine, and like
I know, one leg and he would have found these guys. That's how much of a chat he is.
I mean, he found Harvey's cave pretty easily, so I think he could.
Yeah.
And then like I think he wouldn't have made animal noises, even though he's been out in the wilderness. I mean, the dude was on the brink of going crazy when he captured Molly, and
it wasn't this crazy. You're right. Yeah.
So
Ben, while he's going insane, has been living in a cave for months. Is still fucking more competent than all these losers.
Oh, there's one thing you forgot to mention, by the way, because I think this established it. I guess I guess from these scientists, that's how Ben was able to find like all the supplies that were dug underneath. They like.
You're right. Cody or whatever the fuck mentioned that like he's got like survival shit like kind of spread out. And then, presumably, the thing with like rations that Ben found in the ground is like that's what it's from.
After the guy went back for his ration.
That because I just assumed it was like cabin guys like stuff.
Yeah. But But yeah, I like to think that guy went back for his fucking rations and then saw that Ben took it all. Which
It's like, what the fuck? Who ate all my shit? Ben left like an IOU sign there.
I would have loved it. Him and Ben would have been great together on. I mean, we don't know much about Cody, but I'm gonna get the vibe that him and Ben would have been a perfect team together.
Yeah, yeah, and I would have loved that. Fucking
Ben,
yeah, like this, like we're really good at surviving, but everyone else is fucking us over. Thing.
Ben could have the crossbow leg too.
I would, he's got the. Well, you know, it's funny because his ankle got cut, so on one leg he's got the chainsaw leg.
Yes.
The other crossbow.
I love it.
He's fucking becoming a living weapon.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
See, even in death, we remember Ben. Well, Ben's always going to be talked about.
Ben always lives in our hearts.
Not their hearts, but our hearts. He lives in.
Oh, 100%. He lives in their stomachs.
Yes. Well, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, true. It's like on its way down. What was it? All right, so Hannah is continuing her tape recording, and okay, so this dialogue it makes sense why she says it, but like I felt a little forced, where she's like, "Oh, sweetie, like I love you. I wanted you to be proud of me, and not just some mom who had you at a teenage pregnancy." I was like, okay, that felt a little exposition-y.
Yeah. But they did,
like mention like teenage pregnancy, because it ends up mattering later. Because when Misty is like present day, like how come we never knew she had a daughter? And then Shauna's like, oh, she had a teenage pregnancy and she didn't take her mom's last name and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so that was a little forced. Yeah.
Also, again, why the fuck did they stop the tape recorder last episode? Because Shauna had to like show them the tape again, and this time they like played the whole thing.
Well, to be fair, Misty was there this time, so that's why they played the whole thing.
Right, no, but like she also did it for Tyson Van, because Tyson Van were like, Hannah had a daughter? Like what?
Yeah, that was
and it's
weird.
like, you know, if you played the tape for an extra like 30 seconds, you would have knew that.
Maybe it was like it wasn't good for the YouTube numbers to play the whole thing, so they felt like they felt like they had to stop it at one point.
Sure, why not?
I like how I've used that, but it's a tape, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they stopped the tape. I don't know why they stopped the tape at that point. I wasn't sure if like because then Shauna found out Callie was recording them, so they stopped the tape and like Shauna abruptly left. But it seemed like I got the vibe from
Shauna checked her phone like after they stopped recording.
It seemed like they took the kiss. It seemed like they took the kiss sis logic there. When we thought like Keita was going for his test like at the end of one episode, and then like
like no, that was actually he didn't. It just really seemed like it was. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here. Maybe they like
Jackets and kiss crossover.
Maybe they like I don't know. Well, Thais and Van also then usually their plot's not good, so maybe that carried over to like Shauna's plot.
Yeah, Shauna was like, "Listen, I gotta listen to this in my own time because you two are gonna ruin it." Bye.
Yeah, I can't blame her.
Yeah,
but that is weird. I don't know why they didn't just listen to the whole tape.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, Shauna was gonna go off on her own without Tyson Van. So again, I feel like that wouldn't have happened if Tyson Van listened to the whole thing with Shauna beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt kind of weird. And yeah, Hannah thinking she's about to die, leaving like a goodbye message for her daughter if she ever found the tape. It is nice, like again, I just think her dialogue was a little forced.
Very much so.
It didn't feel like as heartfelt as it should have been. Again, it really felt like it was exposition to establish like, okay, she has a daughter and she had her as a teenager, I guess.
Yeah, so she should have taken some acting lessons from Ben when he was given his trial speech.
You're right. Fucking amazing actor, that guy. Even as a decapitated head, he was doing a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, Natalie and Shauna are together looking for Hannah. And they're getting pretty close. And
I I feel like a missed opportunity here for Shauna and Natalie. It didn't have to be anything big, but had to have a conversation about the last episode. That was kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I would have liked if there was some tension between them. Or again, because Shauna's like so fucking murder bloodlusted, it would have been nice if like Natalie kind of like talked to her a little bit, being like, "Hey, listen, we are rescuing these people, all right? Like we're not killing these people." You know, they kind of had to talk about it.
Yeah, that would have fit the, would have avoided, I guess, like Natalie could say, like, look, I know I'm not queen anymore, but it's not official. I'm not sure what actually happened, but like we're rescuing these people. No votes.
We have also established who's like leader now. Yeah, and again, it would have been tied into like Natalie being like, "Hey, listen, like I get you're going through a lot, but like what you were doing to Ben is fucked up, and again, you are like gonna ruin you and Lottie are gonna ruin our chance of like getting home." It would have been nice if they kind of had a back and forth on that.
Yeah, and that'd be cool because she would have because they didn't know where she was, so she would have overheard that type of thing. And everything.
Yeah, and again, because Hannah's the one who actually ends up coming out on her own because they're kind of getting close to her, and they notice they notice something. I forget what it was. Like I think like Hannah, like they see like a footprint or like a branch that like Hannah broke or something. They notice something that like imply that she's in the area.
Yeah. Oh, her hair. Her hair.
You're right. Thank you. I knew they saw something, but I couldn't think of what it was. But yeah, Hannah ends up coming out on her own, and she's like, "Hi, like I'm Hannah, like please don't hurt me." And then Shauna immediately like grabs her arm and like puts it behind her, and like has a knife to her back.
Yep.
She's basically just like is like pissed off, and she's like, "You shot our friend." And I was like, "Nope, it wasn't me. Like that was Cody, our tour guide. Like we hired him, but like I don't really know him that well." And Taisa shows up at this point, and then Natalie and Tice have to like calm Shauna down and be like, "Hey, listen, like, Lottie already like fucking killed one of them. Like, do not make this worse." And Shauna, it's cold blooded, but like it does kind of make sense. I mean, not really great sense. I still wouldn't take the risk of she's like, "Listen, like we kill these guys and so that we don't leave any witnesses, and then other people will come looking for them and find us."
Yeah, and I get.
And because again, that's relying on the fact that like they are miles and miles of woods.
Yeah.
Like I still wouldn't take that.
I get Shauna's thinking here though, because one, she's been lashing out on everyone. She's gonna lash out on this person because she hurt like Melissa and everything like that. I can buy that, and then like Well,
Cody hurt Melissa, but yeah, she's kind of taking it on her because she was with Cody. Yeah.
So I could buy Shauna's thinking. It's not great logic, but I could buy that. I could buy Shauna's logic thinking this way.
Yeah, it's rationally irrational. Like it's irrational, but I see how she came to that conclusion, as opposed to Lottie, who is irrationally irrational.
There's nothing that Lottie can like say or do that will make that rational. Like I can.
100%. I'm like, I do not give a flying fuck what your reason is. That was fucking stupid.
All of these people could come out to be like really bad people later on and all that stuff, and I'm not gonna buy it. Like,
yeah, 100%. But yeah, Taisa makes a good point of like Shauna being like, "Listen, do not kill her. Like, you like remember what like how pissed we all were with Natalie for killing Ben. Like, when she didn't like get the go ahead from everybody else. Like, do not go rogue on your own right now."
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Hannah's like, "Hey, listen, I know where you can find first aid supplies like for your friend." So that kind of gets Shauna to back off a little bit. Yeah. So as I said, it's daytime now, and then Lottie's still just rubbing blood all over her face, and she's like muttering to herself like, "Oh, you'll see, you'll all see."
I don't know what we'll see,
and then,
but we'll see.
Sure. And yeah, they're trying to get the arrow out of Melissa, but they end up saying it's like barbed, so they can't pull it through.
I thought you said there for a second they're trying to get the arrow out of Melissa. I'm like, what?
Arrow. Yeah. Which, Owen, if you didn't know, that's why. It's for the penetrating, but that's also another thing with arrows, is why the arrow is like shaped like that. Well, one, obviously it's to penetrate, but it's also so it's like you can't really pull it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also a barbed arrow, which makes it even worse. So they're like, okay, we're gonna have to like push it through. So yeah, they end up just pushing the arrow through the other end, which and we actually even see like the arrow piercing through her back of her shoulder. So that was a good effect, and like the actress did a really good job. I really bought that she was like in horrible pain.
Yeah, very much so.
And like before this, Lottie kind of stutters over, like hobbles over, and she's like, "Hey, do you guys need help?" And again, it's like it's been like hours, Lottie, and you're only just now asking if she needs help.
And where the hell are we in the season when Molly's the one that tells her to fuck off? Like, you've done enough. We actually take Molly's side.
It's funny because Mari was like the one fucking glazing Lottie last season.
I love it.
Like fucking Mari last season was kissing Lottie's ass and worshiping on the ground she walks on. So it's kind of funny how Mari's now like, no, Lottie, fuck off.
What the hell happened? Like, Molly became like, maybe not the best character of the whole show, but like, I remember she was like at the.
It's like Mari last season was the worst, and now she's actually pretty good. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Did like the actors have like sit down with the writers and be like, no, like I'm gonna. Did she like write her own storylines or whatever? Or like say like I'm gonna.
She wrote her own script. I like that.
And then Neil edit.
But yeah, I do like how all of them are just like Lottie, fuck off, because Lottie is like trying to like justify herself badly by saying like they were gonna ruin everything, and then they were just like, no, fuck off, Lottie, like go fuck your blood dirt. That was actually their line, word for word. Go fuck your blood dirt.
Yeah, that was awesome.
like that was good. And yeah, at this point, the gang come back with Hannah. She's like, restrained. Like Shauna, she has her hands behind her back, and like Shauna like has the knife to her. And yeah, we get that shot of Lottie from like the flashbacks, like a couple episodes ago.
Yep.
Which we kind of we're gonna get that soon.
Yeah, and it's interesting now that we have the context that it's gonna be about how Lottie messed up one of the only chances of going home. So that's interesting. I wanted that, and it made sense. I like that Shona was there when we saw that flashback because I'm pretty sure we've had flashbacks of the characters. Oh, the biggest thing is when we saw some of the past scenes in RVB season 9 or RVB season 10. Like Church was, I think, supposed to have known about those, but like some of them, like Church,
yeah, been like there for those, yeah.
So I like the fact that Shona was actually like there for that.
Yeah,
the past was pretty solid. A lot of action in the past. Not a lot of character stuff. You had some. I wouldn't have written the past this way. I don't like how everything kind of goes south so quickly. I feel like these guys.
I do think for Hannah though, we're like at the very end. We get she's like, "Hi, I'm Hannah," and then we kind of get like a zoom out shot.
Yeah.
And the actress did a good job with her face. Like she seems really like nervous. And again, I like it ended on like Hannah because, the scientists were like the POV characters for this episode, and the YellowJackets were like the villains of this episode, which was interesting.
Yeah, and then, like I've said, season 3 has been structured that way because it's been Ben's POV up until this episode. Now it's the scientist's POV. So that's I think pretty interesting.
Obviously, like we already know present day what they said. Like Hannah's dead, so like her boyfriend and her and presumably Cody, like these poor guys, like ended up fucking dead because of the YellowJackets.
Yeah.
You feel bad for them. Like they were just out there not hurting anybody. They were doing some research. And the YellowJackets just like fucking ruined them, like ruined their lives. Well, and that's another thing as we're going to talk about in the present is Hannah had a daughter. And, it's like the fucking YellowJackets are whether they end up killing Hannah directly or not, like they are the reason she ends up being out there, with them. So like indirectly or not, like they get Hannah killed.
And I guess we could talk about that since we're directly on Hannah. I do like that we get the reveal of that, like this episode, but like Hannah doesn't die or like Cody doesn't die or anything like that. I like the fact that like they actually reveal it in the present because I think that's been kind of a weird thing we've mentioned about YellowJackets. Sometimes it feels like they don't really talk about anything in the past or like mention anything in the past until we see it. I actually
it's something that's already been seen.
Yeah, so I actually like the fact that they flipped it this episode. Again, addressing our criticisms. Well, I like the fact that they mentioned the research. The only one we know about Hannah. We already know we had known about Dead Meat. We don't. They did say 3 researchers. They didn't say Cody died. So, but again,
Yeah, just say we don't know what's up with Cody because they say definitively Hannah died. We didn't get any word on Cody.
Yeah, but I do kind of like the fact that it's going to make us feel really bad about Hannah. And they didn't necessarily say how. So I'm interested to see. So the unpredictability point is going to be like, is this going to be the moment? Is that going to be the moment? And all that type of stuff. So that will be really interesting. And I'll say it now because we're not going to have a chance to talk about it. We might be related to Hannah. More of a chance I am than you are because I didn't notice this in the when I watched this first go around, but I noticed it second go around. Hannah's a Finch, so that could be like a cousin or something. So a cousin that we never knew we had.
Well, technically, same amount of related because like you're Finch. Your last name is actually Finch because your dad's Finch.
Yeah.
Not a Finch because my mom was a Finch, so I took my dad's name. But technically speaking, we're both the same amount. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But
because I was in camera, we were talking about like our extended family in Ireland, and you were like, "Oh yeah, that guy would be like your third cousin and my second cousin, right?" I was like, "No, he would because we're first cousins." So he'd be like the same for both of us.
I sometimes forget how that works, but yeah, it's pretty interesting that but also too because there's some people that like your grandfather on your dad's side. I don't think I'm like technically related to him, so there's more of a chance I think I could be related.
Oh, that'd be really weird for my parents.
Yeah, but I think there's more of a chance Hannah could be related to me because we're both Finches. So
Yeah. I know what you mean. But yeah, it's funny that yeah. Well, it reminds me how my middle name was Charles, and the guy, the Darwin Finches, like the guy's name was like Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, maybe I'm related. Obviously not, but like it's a funny coincidence. But yeah, it's funny. Well, is Finch a common name?
I
don't think I've ever met anybody named Finch outside of like the family.
Yeah, I don't think I really have. So,
which is also funny because technically, like Finch isn't even like our blood name, because our grandfather was adopted and he got the name Finch from his adopted family.
This could be the adopted family right here. So,
like our grandfather's like adopted, fucking like great niece or something.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But yeah, we're never gonna find out because Hannah's gonna die pretty soon. So.
Yeah,
and
in 1997. Not 6, 97.
Yeah. And it'll be like 1.
Well, maybe you're the daughter.
Well, no, cause why would I be the daughter?
You were like a baby back then.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be the daughter. I'm a guy. So, my sister.
I mean, are you though? You never know. Owen, I'm not going to judge.
Could be my sister. That's the daughter. Didn't really.
Yeah, sure. Why
not? So.
Your sister's specifically, not you.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go to the present now. We talked about the past, and if you've watched most of our season 3 episodes, we usually kind of say the past hard carries. This time it's pretty balanced. Both the past and the present were equally as good. So let's talk about the present of YellowJackets. So it starts off with Shauna. This is after we have seen the past where they showed that, what we didn't see in the tape and everything like that. Shauna listens to the rest of the tape, and this is where we find out that Hannah had a daughter. She looks up her obituary. This is where we find out that Hannah and I and potentially AJ could potentially be related. And during all this, Jeff is trying to go use the bathroom, and she's like, you know what? I'll just go use the one in the lobby. And Shauna comes out and she's kind of telling Jeff, like, hey, like, you really shouldn't be, like, making yourself, like, known that you're at this motel. Like, you should be very discreetly only trying to stay in this room. And obviously Jeff's confused because obviously, like, the other day she had, like, sent Shauna down. Shauna had sent them down to get like a snack, and then Shauna says like circumstances have changed, and Shauna's being very secretive towards Jeff as normal, and I do like that this time Jeff calls her out for it, like says like, hey, like, I got your back, but like, you're being very secretive, and I guess that's how you show love. And I actually like that Jeff says this, like, I'm basically putting my life on hold because I still have a business to run, and Callie has to be put in school while we have to be, and we can't even like do anything. We have to just sit around and let you like handle everything. So
yeah, that's sorry, just to get my thoughts real quick. I love that they're continuing the rift between Jeff and Shauna, because again, Jeff's 100% right. He's backed her up like through the murder, through reading the journals, which we're gonna get to later, and like all this shit. So like, Shauna has no reason to be secretive at this point. And yeah, I do like that where she's a big hypocrite, where it's like, okay, you can go off and do all this, but like me and Callie just have to stop what we're doing in our lives to fucking be held up in this hotel room for until you give the go ahead.
Yeah. So
it's like what Jeff said a couple episodes ago, where it's like, you're not the only one with like, in this house who's like important.
Yeah.
Like, it's not all about you.
So Shauna says like, I don't deserve you. And she tells Jeff to like keep an eye out on Callie, like she's smarter than you think she is, and she has a lot of questions. And this isn't even like Shauna being like a mother, like looking out for Callie or anything like that. It's like obviously Shauna's like saying like basically kind of giving the vibe like she wants Callie to back the fuck off, or like something bad will happen.
Callie needs to back the fuck off, and so do you.
Yeah.
But she says it in such like a nice way. Like, she's basically threatening Jeff and Callie, but like the way she says it, like she doesn't even realize that's what she's doing.
Yeah. So Callie overhears this and looks up on her laptop, like the researchers, and kind of finds out that they've been killed and everything like that. So that's interesting. It's kind of cool. Like
because she didn't know specifically, but she listened to the recording, so she was just able to like Google, like, okay, like researchers that went missing in 1997, like in this area, we're kind of able to like narrow it down through like the circumstance.
Yeah. It's kind of cool that they can like fake a Google search and like shows and stuff, because obviously it's pretty cool. And then Misty busts in to well, not bust in, but like obviously she has someone at the hotel that Ty, or the suite that Ty and Van are staying at. But before that happens, like Van's obviously looking at Ty very suspiciously after what happened last episode, where she like woke up like asking Van for help randomly out of nowhere. They didn't play into that this episode. I can understand why, because they kind of had other stuff going on. So I hope they play into that in the future. I guess they do a little bit with it, but not much. And then Misty comes in, and obviously Van's freaked out by this, because like, Misty just showed up, didn't call him or anything like that, and like knew where to find them, because obviously Misty they didn't tell anyone. I don't think they like exactly said to everyone where they were. Taissa wakes up, and Misty confronts Taissa about why she failed to mention that she met up with Lottie, before she died. And obviously Van's shocked by this, because obviously when Van questioned Taissa about this, Taissa said that she didn't. And Misty comes up with some pretty good points about why Taissa could have killed Lottie. Mentions that she didn't really believe in the wilderness stuff, and then mentions that like Taissa has a tendency to kill people and when she sleepwalks and not necessarily be able to remember it. Misty kind of asks Van if she thinks she could have done it, and then Van says no, and I think she just said that to kind of protect Taissa. Obviously, you got that Van wasn't being genuine there, and then Taissa kind of says like, hey, maybe it's whoever sent that tape to Shauna, and obviously Misty doesn't know anything about any tape, so she's like, what tape? And this kind of leads to them kind of going off to like talk to Shauna. I do like this. Makes sense that Misty would question her, because this happened now. I imagine this means that Taissa didn't kill Lottie, because I don't think they would be this direct, and have Misty question it this much and like make it kind of a focus this episode. But you don't know, like we also thought that like Lottie's story in season 2 about Travis's suicide was bullshit, and then we found out that it wasn't. So never know with the show sometimes. So what do you think of these scenes here? I thought the scene was pretty solid.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I think the Jeff and Shannon one was the best. And as for the Misty and Tyson one, I like it when we as the audience have the whole picture, but like the characters don't.
Yeah.
So obviously confronting them about the whole Lottie thing is cool, and then Tysa and Van knowing about the whole Shauna subplot is cool, and then Misty being confused by it. So, it's cool to see the characters kind of compare notes essentially.
And then when Sean is coming out of the elevator, she runs into all the main YellowJackets that are alive now. And this is where Shauna mentions, like you said, that like she listened to the rest of the tape and she found out that Hannah had a daughter. And she said that she was going to go confront her because this could be why all this bad stuff's happening. Maybe the daughter's going to try to take, like, revenge on them for what they did to...
Real quick, because as we're going to find out when Shauna goes to her house, she has, like, a knife. And I like how, Tyson and Van Color are like, oh, you're going to talk to her? And Shauna's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, point out the fact Hannah is 100% dead because of the YellowJackets. Like, whether they end up directly killing her or not, like, whatever happens to her out in the wilderness, it only happens because the YellowJackets fucking captured her and like wouldn't let her leave.
Yeah.
So, like, basically, as far as they know, they got this lady killed, and then like her daughter is understandably like upset about it, and Shauna's response is like, "Cool, I'm gonna go and fucking kill her."
Yeah. Obviously she bullshits you and says like, "I'm gonna go just have a talk with her." I like that the YellowJackets kind of like know this isn't gonna happen, so they kind of insist on going with Shauna to go with them, I guess, to make sure things don't go south.
They like this is like with Adam,
Yeah, so I liked that. Again, Adam's always around the corner. Gotta put him up anytime you can. So.
Off the elevator, it was Adam. Adam was there in spirit.
Yep. Same age. Same age? Because remember that's a joke. Is he gonna be? We're like in the we made a joke before.
Same age, always same age.
So they start driving. They listen to the rest of the tape, and the YellowJackets cast are confused about why she never mentioned before that she had a daughter. They do mention like who the hell went and got this tape because as we forgot to talk about in the past, we find out that the Hannah buried the tape. So like nobody could find it. So that'll be interesting. I kind of hope that's brought up because that does seem like a bit of a leap that this tape would come back again when she's like buried the tape on a bunch of rocks and everything like that. So we'll see if that happens. And then they mentioned like why did they wait 25 years to get revenge, which is something that like AJ and I have asked, like why is all this stuff happening like 25 years later, like really nothing in between.
Yeah, no, it is crazy that all this shit's happening like in the same time frame as like, and then like nothing else happened in the last 25 years.
I guess that we had Shauna scene like you mentioned in the flashback. So.
Right. Yeah, at this point I'm wondering if that's ever going to get addressed.
Yeah. So they stop at a gas station. We find out too that Shauna was pretty clever and like Googled and made some phone calls about Hannah's daughter. And we found out some other things. We find out that Melissa and Jen died in the wilderness. So that's interesting. Now we kind of know, except for recast go number 1 and like another cast member that like hasn't spoken. We pretty much.
Well, because they're like, who brought the tape back from the wilderness? And Tysa is like, Melissa and Jen got pretty close to Hannah. Like basically saying like, oh, maybe one of those two. But yeah, and then somebody points out like, yeah, but they're dead. So
yeah, that'd be interesting if they translate that to the past, that like Melissa and Jen get close to Hannah. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get some scenes with Melissa.
Who knows?
Huh?
Maybe Jen will finally speak.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Melissa though, not Jen. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting too. They said they got close to Hannah, so I'm wondering if that will cause maybe some like friction between like past Shauna and Melissa type of thing.
Yeah, like wants to kill Hannah, and obviously if Melissa gets close to her, then yeah, it's gonna change stuff.
Yep. And then nothing about Jen. Jen's just gonna be close to her, you know.
And gonna like I don't know, be there, and Hannah's like, you know what, you're not trying to kill me, you're fine.
Yeah.
And Jen's just like,
I would love that. Like Melissa's like Jen's just there when Melissa doing Melissa's scenes and all that stuff, just giving thumbs up and not really speaking much and all that type of stuff.
Hey Jen, what do you think about this? Okay.
And they view that as her getting like close to like Hannah, just an unspoken.
Hey, we're really good friends.
So they stop at a gas station. They don't have enough money to pay. Originally, Taissa was going to pay, but her call gets declined from all the hotel charges. I'm wondering what her wife will say about that, Simone. You know, the fact that she's just blowing all the money.
Well, I mean, as we know, Taissa has a very popular political career. So, I mean, I'm sure she'll make that money back pretty much right away. Remember that, Owen? That Taissa was like senator for like a couple days?
Yeah.
The show doesn't remember, but I remember it.
Yeah. And then Van questions Taissa while like Misty and Shauna go into the gas station to do stuff, and questions if Taissa did kill Lottie. And Taissa said that she didn't. She just went to talk to her about the wilderness stuff because Lottie mentioned that. Because again, Lottie was very vague what she meant by that. So Taissa wanted to go see what she meant because, Lottie had already had her yearly conversation. Now she's not going to have those anymore. Lottie can't have her yearly conversations with people anymore.
Yeah. All right, I already told Travis about my schizophrenia, so like that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a new year, so that's why she had that conversation with Travis in the past about her.
Yeah. Okay, I guess get it out of the way. I'll do while Travis is high at least, so he's not going to remember.
Yeah, he hasn't brought it up, so What do you think it would be?
Yeah, you think something to bring up, like, hey guys, so like Lottie's schizophrenic. We should, just heads up.
Yeah,
probably explains actually.
What do you think 1998's conversation will be? Because they'll be rescued then. They did say she doesn't talk. Do you think she was just waiting to have a big conversation until afterwards, and then her father had to shock it out of her and all that?
Yeah, that like talking to that like crazy person like in the mental hospital. Like Lottie decided to have a conversation with her. It's like, okay, it's not gonna matter if I say it to you.
So then 99. I wonder what 99's conversation is gonna be. So
Susan at that point, right? There you go. They spoke Swiss, so they wouldn't even understand her.
And then 2000, we got 2001. There's a lot of years she's got to get through. So,
oh god.
She got like in a daily planner about like what.
Owen, it comes to my attention that like even the show itself never made it clear that she was schizophrenic.
No.
Because remember, I thought those medication was like for like a physical thing, like a heart issue or something, and then you had to be like, oh yeah, that's like mental pills. I was like, oh, they didn't make that clear.
Thank you, Wikipedia. It's just thank you, Wikipedia. What would we do without you?
Not understand a very important part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would have figured it out eventually, but we would have like.
Later on, they kind of heavily imply it, but like again, I don't think they actually even say that Lottie has like a mental thing until like season 2.
Yeah. So. And Shauna and Lottie doesn't tell anyone else in season 1, which would have avoided all of season 1 and all of season 2 and all of season 3 and
pretty much everything. Yeah.
Season 4 hasn't even happened yet, but it would have prevented whatever happens in season 4, I guess. So, how do you prevent something before it's written?
In season 4, but it still would have prevented all that shit.
Nothing to. But anyhow, and Taissa and Van kind of have that argument again because Van even says like I don't want to live that way, and Taissa says you don't have to live that way. Like, I'll live that way, but you can just live. Even though Van's still living that way, but Taissa's logic never really makes sense, so whatever. But then Misty comes out. She kind of gets the sense they're talking about something. So, but they kind of play it off like they want. Misty mentions that she's pale, that Van's pale. I thought at first it was because Van was just nervous about all of this, but then we find out there's a little bit more to that. She's trying to say that she just has car sickness. So So then we got Road Trip Part 2, and Missy's playing I Spy with them. That's a good game.
Oh yeah, and that like Hannah's daughter lives in like Virginia, so it's a pretty far drive.
That's right. I forgot to mention that.
I do like that. Remember how big criticism we had before was that like everything is like weirdly close together.
Yeah. So I like the fact that she's in Virginia. So they keep driving. They're playing I Spy. I'd be very annoyed because I'd be wanting to play games on my phone, and Misty would be over there trying to have a conversation. I'd just be wanting to play.
I was about to say it's like 2021, so it's like, bro, let me fucking play my game.
Let me play my Monopoly Go. Let me play my Mario Odyssey.
Pokemon still pretty popular then.
Yeah, so
it's still pretty popular now, actually.
Yeah, people play it, and it sounds like Misty. You don't want to be. It sounds like Misty's not a good travel buddy because as we've seen that, I like that. That's pretty consistent because when Natalie traveled with her, all Misty did was talk, and then when Elijah Wood traveled with her, they like talked the whole time. So I don't think you want Misty as a travel buddy. So, then Elijah Wood. Damn it! I forgot the AI's name. But what's the shittiest AI in LVB? Iota calls. Wouldn't Epsilon be I guess wouldn't Epsilon kind of be the shittiest though because he dies instantly. So.
Yeah, Epsilon before he got a personality because his personality was I'm gonna commit suicide. Yeah, sure. Pre-Epsilon, sure, why not?
But I'll go Iota though. Iota calls, and what a good guy Elijah Wood is. He's on his lunch break, and he's using his lunch break to help solve this, Lottie murder, and everything like that.
It's like, all right, I'm taking a break from walking to Mordor, so okay, I'll help you with this.
And obviously, Misty tries to play it off.
Lord of the Rings next year or something.
Yeah. So Misty's trying to play it off like she doesn't want to talk to him, but obviously she's kind of leaving out that she's doing the investigation. And she calls and reveals that the hair that, that got sent into DNA, it matched Shauna's hair underneath Lottie's fingernails. So Shauna's the one that murdered Lottie. At least that's the reveal here.
I told Owen this off camera. Thank you, forensics degree. So funny little thing. Actually, a couple little funny things. With hair, incredibly difficult to get DNA off of it in the strand itself. Usually you get it from like the little piece of skin that falls off. I forget the exact name terms of it. But anyway, with that, a little fun fact about that hair, that is maternal DNA. So that hair DNA won't match your father's side. It will, however, watch your mother's side. So I'm guessing, because again, Callie was acting really weird when she found out Lottie died, and they were kind of building a friendship earlier, and we don't know where Callie went, because it also can't be Shauna, because Shauna went looking for that cat, that episode.
And she was trapped in the freezer, and trapped in the freezer.
Right. I wanted to bring that up because Miss Steven points out, like from a receipt, that Shauna went into New York City that day to find that cat. And then, but Callie did not come to the retirement home. She was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go do something else. Bye." So I'm guessing that they tested Shauna's DNA and it was a match because it's actually Callie. Because obviously Callie's DNA would match Shauna's.
Obviously, you're probably right, but like Walter's supposed to be like a really good detective. You would think he knows that Shauna has a daughter named Callie, I think, because he had to help do the Jeff Moto and stuff. Not the Jeff Moto, the Adam Mountain Moto and stuff. So it's really weird that he didn't come to that conclusion like himself, like type of thing.
Right. Well, I guess all he's got to go on is a piece of hair, which again it would match Shauna and Callie.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I guess his thing is like he doesn't really know Callie, so he's just like, assuming it's Shauna. I guess, yeah.
And I could buy Misty buying into it since Shauna's killed before and like she saw the receipt, like I said, or like you said, and then that all ties in together. And obviously, her and Shauna are kind of like having a falling out a little bit. So.
But yeah, pointed that out because like before I was kind of like 60-40, like 60% leaning towards Callie, 40% like maybe it's Thaisa like sleepwalking. But with this, I'm like, nah, it's Callie, like 100%. Like I don't believe it's Shauna. It's Callie.
Yeah, and they really want you to make you think it's Shauna for some reason. Even though it's really weird because I think the show wants you to think it's Shauna, but like they act like episode 4 didn't happen when we saw that.
Well, I'm guessing like they're kind of just banking on the audience, like not putting that piece together, or like maybe they like think that like because we didn't actually see Shauna go to the vet, so maybe Shauna did go into New York, met up with Lottie, and then went to go get the cat as like an alibi. Like maybe that's what they're hoping the audience thinks. But again, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't.
Just thinking.
I feel like the biggest thing, like I said, off camera. I feel like if it was Shauna or Thaisa, we would have like seen that on camera by now and all that type of stuff.
Right. I think you said that actually, but I was more so saying that like I feel like we wouldn't have gotten it this early.
Yeah. So.
Like it feels like it's a red herring, like that we got tight. Like we're only at episode 7. Like I'm guessing the whole Lottie thing is gonna last until the end of the season. So I'm like, yeah, no, they're probably gonna reveal it's Callie like last episode.
Yeah, probably. And I'm interested to see what they do with it because, as I'll talk about, in the Jeff scene, Callie's trying to talk about how evil Shauna is and everything like that. So.
Yeah. Also, Owen, not gonna lie, this was kind of like a retread of season 1. Remember with the blackmailer, where it was kind of like, is it Adam or is it Jeff? And then like as it went on, we were kind of Jeff.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing.
Like it's a little like okay, YellowJackets, let's be kind of retreading old ground here.
I guess so. But hearing this, Misty tries to play it off like Elijah Wood's trying to hit on her and stuff, and so she hangs up very quickly and then sends a private group text to Van and Thaisa saying that like Shauna killed Lottie. So obviously they're kind of like worried. So they kind of try to like get Shauna to pull over, but Shauna won't pull over. I do like that Shauna kind of like realizes what they're doing, like they're sending text to each other, knows something's up. And obviously I think this is where the moment they want you to think that Shauna did something because like Shauna like insistently won't pull over and everything like that. So Van starts coughing and I'm like, okay, Van's gonna pretend to like be sick. And then that will cause her to pull over. But no, she coughs up blood.
Yeah, she's vomiting blood.
And this gets everybody, like, worried. I thought at first it was kind of a leap, but the episode itself, you could see the hints that Van wasn't right because, like, again, she was pale and then she was very, like, tired, like, the rest of the episode.
But, I mean, I don't know. Like, the amount puking up that much blood at that specific moment is a little like I get it's kind of like a comedy thing. It's like Shauna will pull over and then Van starts doing that. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I'm pulling over.
Yeah.
But like, kind of like Jesus of all times.
Yeah. And she's been fine the last few episodes. Up until like
right. Like she has not done that.
Yeah. Like in Breaking Bad, Walter White.
Like and like all that stuff. Like that was all pretty consistent.
Yeah. So, but I do want to say that's what the weird thing is about going back because I wanted to say this earlier, but I forgot. It is kind of weird that Hannah's daughter is going to take revenge 25 years later. Because I feel like to make the Breaking Bad comparison, yes, Gus, was taking revenge on Hector like years later, but if you watch Better Call Saul and if you watch the show itself, you get the vibe that Gus was working on this like for years, like before.
You get that vibe even in Breaking Bad. This was like a long process.
Yeah. So. And
then like Walt was kind of just like the final piece he needed to like fully get do it.
Yeah. So. But anyhow, so then they take Van to the hospital. This is where the reveal they get where because Thaisa mentions to the hospital that that she has cancer, and this was the first time that Misty and Shauna like found out about this. Kind of nice, like you said, because we've known this, but like Misty and Shauna didn't know. So then they kind of sit down, And obviously Misty and Shauna are kind of like speechless about this, and like Misty's like, "Did you know?" And Shauna's like, "No, I didn't know." And Shauna's obviously like upset, kind of, saying like, "Wow, like it really shows how unfair life is and everything." And then Misty kind of calls out Shauna, be like, "Don't like act like you care, because you haven't been a good friend to anybody." And this is where Misty accuses Shauna of killing Lottie, and Shauna's obviously surprised by this, and mentions like why would I kill Lottie? And Misty kind of points out all the evidence that she has, and I like that Shauna had, and it's a really good alibi where she mentions, yes, they found her DNA under her fingernails, but that's because she also had been like staying at my house for a couple of days.
Yeah, she mentions that like, oh yeah, we found your DNA on Lottie, and then Shauna was like, oh please, she was at my house. Yeah, she probably had my DNA on her. And then, but she was like, what was it under like her nails or something? And then Misty was like, oh, is that confession?
Yeah.
So basically, like, because they didn't say it was under her nails, so yeah, Shauna probably just assumed Lottie had it like on her shirt or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it being under her nails is like suspicious.
And then Shauna even says like, look, you're gonna bring this up now, like when Van's dying in there, and then she goes to get a Coke. Then she leaves. And that obviously that was meant to just kind of question Shauna being suspicious. I'm pretty interested in that. I did like this little argument they have. I thought Misty and Shauna both had pretty valid points here. I could kind of see both perspectives. Yeah.
But Shauna, like, it's funny how, like, again, Shauna was like, "Oh, you're doing this now when our friends and they're dying," and then Shauna just like steals their car and fucking leaves. Well, I mean, it's her car, but she just like leaves them at the hospital in the middle of like wherever the hell they are.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, whoever this is obviously all meant to be a red herring. But then we get everything with Thais and Van in the hospital. Thaisa just wants Van to make it. She's strapped up to a machine. And then in like the not the other room, but like there's a curtain, and in the same room, but behind the curtain, there's a guy that like is being really obnoxious, talking about the devil's coming after him and everything like that. And Thaisa jokingly says like, I just want to kill that guy. But then this kind of gets Van to wake up and be like, don't, thinking that Thais is serious. And Thais is like, look, it's just an expression. And Van's obviously questioning, like, is it? Because she's still not even, like, sure if, like, Thaisa killed Lottie or anything like that. So then, Van starts having visions. She has a vision of past Lottie, like, doing the morning meetings, about the wilderness and everything like that. And then she has a extra vision where she sees past Lottie dressed in the hospital apron, talking about, like, how, look at you, like, we've cheated death for years, and now this is where the position you are. Which I did like that the show even acknowledged that, because I've been calling Van the Kenny from South Park for like years, and I guess Van in the past. When did South Park come out? It's not a '90s show, is it?
'90s. Yeah, I don't know. Probably around '97. Yeah.
I don't think, but the Kenny joke probably wouldn't have been like a thing yet. So
yeah, would have been like that well known. Yeah.
So, so then past Lottie lights the bed on fire because I like this. That this is what Van feels, because obviously Van's almost died in a fire a few times. So I like the fact that continues to be a thing. I know, like, strapped to the bed, because that's how she almost died the first time. So and then when she comes out of it, she like sees Thaisa, and you see that she has like I don't think she has like black foam necessarily, but her lips are like black, and like her scale is a little paler and everything like that. And she gets the vibe that this is the bad one, and the bad one says like, I would do anything for you. So this kind of continues that trend where like, have we been seeing the bad Thaisa more than we think we have, and all that type of stuff. Because we see in the real world that really Van just needs like a blood transfusion or whatever, and Thais is like trying to get Van to like not die and all that type of. I actually thought Van died in that moment just because like of all these visions and all that type of stuff, but that wasn't the case. So we didn't really get much more from this. I thought this was pretty decent stuff. Nothing big but solid. What'd you think of the Thais Van hospital scene?
Yeah, it was good. I felt bad for Van, and yeah, they've been setting up that Van's gonna die for cancer for like a season now. I don't think she's gonna die here, but like they'll probably if they kill her off at the end of the season, I'd be okay with that. Well, again, it depends on how they do it.
Yeah. Be interested to see how Thaisa reacts. Maybe she'll finally show some emotion now that Van's gonna die. Because that's the only thing.
Well, it'd be kind of weird too, because Natalie died last season, and Van kind of just like took her place. So if Van dies this season, it's like, oh, okay, so that feels kind of weird.
Yeah, especially because
another show up to take Van's place and then have her die in next season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So then, back at the hotel/motel, Jeff, starts scratching and he's tearing the bed apart because he thinks they have like bed bugs and all that type of stuff, and Callie says that may not be what it is, so Jeff's maybe throwing out fleas or something. And Callie mentions, that a lot of weird stuff seems to happen when Shauna like gets involved in all this stuff. And he didn't even give a thumbs up. So
I don't.
So then Callie talks about how like, maybe Mom's really not that good of a person as we think we are. She mentions the fact that like she looked up the researchers and she found out that like they all disappeared around the same time that the YellowJackets were out the wilderness. So she's thinking that the YellowJackets probably did something to them. And Jeff's trying to like rationalize it and like say like, look, like a lot of people go missing in the woods all the time. Like that could just be a huge coincidence and all that type of stuff. But then Callie like mentions like, well, yeah, but did Mom ever mention it? Like, and she's saying enough to like get Jeff to be like suspicious about it and everything like that. I
will say it's kind of weird because Jeff read the journals, so like, did Shauna not mention that in the journals that like they found the scientists?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of interested. Either that or like Jeff maybe was trying to say that to like Callie, but like I don't know. It seemed like Jeff generally was being like straight up, like he didn't know about this and all that.
Yeah, because if Callie had to be like, Dad, like, come on, be honest with ourselves. Like, I think we both know, like, what happened out there. Yeah. And then Jeff, Jeff seems to be like buying into what Callie's saying. So yeah, I'm like, we'll get. It's kind of just a weird thing of like, what the fuck was in the journals? Like, we don't know, like, what specifically did Shauna write? Because again, I feels like that would be something that Shauna would write.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, I kind of like it better that everything's in there, because it makes Jeff look like an even better person that he's still with, or even through all of that.
By your side, yeah. Because, like, if Shauna just, like, left that out, it's like, well, then, like, I don't know, then, like, why is the journal so damning?
Yeah.
Because it's like, everything so far, it's been, okay, like, Jackie died. They ate Jackie when they were, like, starving. Okay. Javi died, like, accidentally.
Yep.
And then, like, the baby died out there. Like, I get why that's stuff that, like, they wouldn't want getting out. But the way everyone was treating the journals, they were treating it like, oh, man, if that gets out, like, we're all fucked. We're all ruined, And I'm like, the scientist stuff, like, okay, yeah, I can see that ruining you because that's, like, cold-blooded murder that you, like, covered up.
And the Ben stuff, I would say.
Right, you're right. Well, I'm like, the scientist stuff and the Ben stuff is, like, kind of tied together. The scientists came in when they were, like, eating Ben.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would Shauna talk about the Ben stuff but not the scientist stuff?
Right, so that's weird. So now it makes us... Because, like, that kind of ruined season 1 a little bit, because, like, the whole thing that Jeff and Shauna talk about, like, you still stay with me through all of that, so...
Yeah, like you said, it's like, that makes it heartwarming that Jeff, like, read all that. And, like, the, like you said, later on in that scene where it's like, you guys were just kids,
Yeah.
So kind of just.
So if Sean has been leaving stuff out, that kind of ruins that scene now a little bit and all that type of stuff.
Right. Yeah. I like it if like everything was in the journal, and like Jeff kind of took that and was able to kind of look past it.
So yeah, this scene doesn't really add up if that's not in if that's not in there. So
Yeah, I think that gets addressed later. Like if Sean and Jeff have a talk, but like again, like you said, it really seems like Callie is like bringing this up, and Jeff is like genuinely like doesn't know.
yeah. And if Shauna left this out, then like what else? Then you have to ask like, did Shauna leave anything else out, type of thing, and all that type of stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah. And is Callie doing this to kind of like make Jeff think like there's a chance like, you know, Shauna could have also killed Lottie to kind of cover Callie's tracks if Callie killed Lottie, type of thing. So I don't know. But then we get the ending. Shauna pulls up to presumably Hannah's daughter's house, and you know, then she we kind of get the confirmation that like of what Thaisa, Van, and Misty thought that Shauna was gonna do. She pulls out the knife and is gonna go in there and you know, confront.
Which again is really fucked up. That like, you know, I feel more bad for Hannah's daughter.
Yeah.
That again, the Yellow got her mom killed, and then you know Shauna's just gonna go in there and presumably just fucking murder, you know, Hannah's daughter.
And I guess the biggest thing to mention is the knife that she has here is like the same knife that Melissa gave her in the past. So
yeah,
that was the end of the episode. I like the present. I thought the present was pretty solid.
Yeah. I do like that. Usually with YellowJackets, it's pretty definitively like the past is better. The past is better here, but like it's pretty even. Like I wouldn't say one is like a way better than the other.
Yeah. Honestly, I would make an argument the present might be better, but I think the past might be better because I feel like the past has a lot of like that Lottie thing just kind of really brings down the past a lot too, type of thing. So,
but I will say this episode, considering we had like the two best episodes of YellowJackets like back to back, this episode is like a downgrade, but like you kind of see it coming.
Yeah.
You know, like you kind of hear this episode isn't going to be nearly as good as the trial or as like, you know, last episode with Ben dying. But it was still solid. Again, our main thing is that like, you know, the story seems like it's going to be the scientist. Sucks dead meat died right away with Lottie. Kind of wish they kind of waited on that. But you know, chasing the scientist was cool. I like how like, again, we got to get their POV and the YellowJackets seem like monsters, essentially.
Yeah.
And then I like the present, kind of like the little road trip they're going on. Van, you know, getting medically worse. And then I like that Misty and Shauna are still like at odds with each other.
Yeah, me too. I'll probably give this up.
That Shauna is like really fucking up her family, you know? Like I really feel really bad for Callie and Jeff.
Yeah. The only weird things that don't make sense is obviously that conversation Callie and Jeff have. Yeah. And then obviously Lottie's decision to kill Dead Meat. But
yeah, that was the whole Dead Meat thing. That was, I think, one of the decisions in YellowJackets that has like pissed me off the most. From both like an in-universe thing and just from like an out of universe, like I don't know why the writers would do that, you know? Yeah.
I'll probably give this episode
what's up?
Probably give this episode a B-. I think it's good.
I was gonna say I give it like a B, maybe even a B+. Like it's like if it wasn't for the Lottie thing, I'd probably give it an A-. But you know, that brings it down. But yeah, probably like a B, maybe a B+. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next episode, and I'm really hoping they can manage to make this scientist plot interesting. Because obviously the first half of the season was Ben, and that was amazing.
Yeah, so I feel like
I'm guessing this is going to be a bit more of a downgrade compared to that because Ben was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like a big downgrade, you know?
Yeah, it'll be a downgrade, but right now it's looking like maybe not a huge downgrade, but well, compared to Ben, it's a huge downgrade, but it's still solid. So,
hopefully Cody and Hannah, we get more on them and their interactions with the YellowJackets because we didn't really get that this episode. Again, and the main part of it was just them running away. So, and then Hannah got captured and Cody got captured. So we'll kind of see where it goes from there. And then as for the present, yeah, I'm hoping we get more on like Hannah's daughter and like what's going on with that and like what Sean is going to do. And I don't really give a shit about Van Taisa, honestly.
That's
Maybe
pretty
next episode.
consistent. It probably won't, but whatever.
Probably.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Anything you want to plug or promote before we get out of here?
No.
Yeah, check out our Yellow Jackets videos. We finally did Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. So,
Sorry, Owen. To put it in the words of Luke Skywalker, no.
oh, that's right.
I gotta no.
Yeah, you can make that reference now.
Yeah, I can do that before.
Yeah, we're gonna end. We're hoping we can do the Star Wars Christmas special before Christmas and have that get released on Christmas, and then we really want this year to end with a Ben video. We're gonna finally bring back our Did This Person Win or Lose series. We're gonna do Did Ben Win or Lose? Because we haven't done that yet. We haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, so pretty much gonna end this year off with mainly Yellow Jackets, and again we're gonna get that Star Wars Christmas special in. So yeah, look forward to that because obviously we're gonna be caught up with the Yellow Jackets, and until it comes back, we're gonna be not really doing much Yellow Jacket stuff for a while.
So enjoy it while you can. So
yeah,
that's pretty much it, guys, and we will talk to you guys later.